All right, so welcome. So Rose is dedicating March to John Schaefer, mastermind, brainchild, songwriter behind the formidable, very much missed Iced Earth. That being stated, she wanted to talk about the merchandise. Now, I don't have as much as others, but I like to show you what I do have. And we're going to start with a couple of, let me show you this. So I'm going to bring these off the wall here. I met John and Matt in the touring band for the Dark Saga album. There's a thing in Atlanta called Dragon Con. This was back in 97. I had met the band because they were there promoting Days of Purgatory and Dark Saga. And nobody knew who they were. I mean, they didn't play the States all that often. They weren't the Iced Earth that we came to know and love. This was their second album with Matt Barlow. Their first kind of leaving behind the kind of music they were doing to begin with, and kind of going into this kind of power metal vein. But anyway, I had some stuff with me, so I had the band sign this. This was really kind of hard to get back in the day, the European cover of the debut album. So that's signed by the bands. And, of course, this one as well. This Burnt Offerings, which was Matt's first time with them. And I absolutely love this album. Talking to John about it, because I got to sit down and hang out with him for a while, because really they were just killing time, just waiting for people to come by the booth, and not a lot of people came by, so I got to spend some time with him. And he was talking about how he was disappointed because the album is so angry, but he was very happy with the outcome of Dante's Inferno. So, talking about Wild merchandise, y'all probably know this as Iced Earth fans, but we'll bring this down. I got, of course, this bad boy right here, Wicked Words and Epic Tales. John doing his kind of melodic spoken word and reinterpretations of some of his tracks. And it's really, really cool. And the book itself is absolutely beautiful. I opted for the sanitized cover. I'm not a big fan of gratuitous nudity for no other reason than just to be nude. It's an absolutely beautiful book. Absolutely beautiful. And they even address Sons of Liberty in here. So that's cool. This is the Plagues of Babylon. Plagues of Babylon. This is the big box set that came out for it, having the album and wristband and button and postcards and just anything and everything. Box sets are so cool. I actually got the one for this, the one for Dystopia. Kind of the first outing with their last singer. And I liked it. Again, another wristband, pendants. You IE fans will probably dig that. The Iced Earth belt buckle there. And yeah, it's got some cool stuff in it. Iced Earth patch and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's that. And then over here, have a couple of things. Of course, box set of The Wicked. This was their time with SPV. So it's got the two Something Wicked albums, Framing Armageddon and Crucible of Man. And it also has the two singles that were released in conjunction with that, where they re-recorded the Something Wicked trilogy at the end of the Something Wicked This Way Comes album. They re-recorded it with Tim Owens on vocals and the I Walk Among You single. So it's a really cool little box set. Came with an additional disc. Came with these cool little books and postcards and stuff too. Where's that? Framing Armageddon. But yeah, the other thing it came with, here we go. This was a little bonus that kind of came with it. Or that came with it. It's got a Charge to Keep, Dark Saga, Iced Earth, Pure Evil. You know, the last three are live, and the Charge to Keep is Matt Barlow on vocals. You know, under the impression he was coming back, but you know, wasn't meant to last. So it is what it is. Another thing. Let's see. Here we go. Over here on the wall. This is the big Century Media set that has all the albums remixed, remastered with the travesty that is the DVD version of Alive in Athens. The reason I say it's a travesty, if you don't know, is the live album itself, Alive in Athens, is fantastic. Fantastic album. But what they did is they took video live performances and just tried to match it up to the videos best they could. So you're actually hearing the CD, but you're seeing this visual, and sometimes you can tell, just, you know, doesn't match up, and it is what it is. And I have some other stuff here. Wait, here's one. It's kind of cool. Yeah. This was back when I met them in '97. This is the Iced Earth Dark Saga picture disc, you know, right there. And not only is it signed by the touring version of Dark Saga, but right here, it's also signed by Al Simmons, Spawn's name. You know, because Spawn's alter ego, Al Simmons, before he died, was named after a friend of Todd McFarlane's. He happened to be at Dragon Con, and so of course had him sign it. So there's that one, and there's one more little thing I wanted to show, because I have t-shirts, I have vinyls and stuff. I mean, there's my Night of the Storm Rider right there, the 30th anniversary, and the original pressing debut of. Have other little vinyls and stuff, but that's not here. We're talking about the kind of kitschy merchandising. I have one other thing. Actually, maybe a couple of other things. Be back in one moment. Hey, all right, so we're back. Now here's a couple of little kitschy little things, and I'll wrap it up because there's so much stuff you can kind of go through. This is not a merchandising on their thing. This is just something I did for myself. But if you see there, that says Iced Earth, live in Atlanta, '97. That is, I actually recorded the show on a little micro cassette recorder because I didn't know if I'd ever get to see Iced Earth again. And yeah, cool little thing. But actual merchandising, of course, this was the first thing I got from them. You know, this is the American one versus the angel and the demon fighting. I love this little thing right here. This is the European pressing of Night of the Storm Rider with the tragic artwork. And the last two things, this is my European version of Horror Show. Oh, yeah, there is one other thing. This is my European version of Horror Show. You know, this really nice digibook. And yeah, beautiful. It's got the interview disc, all that good stuff. And I, of course, have, it's actually in here. There we go. But anyway, this is, I got the single in there. I kind of pressed it in there. But anyway, while they were on one of their tours, this is the Dante's Inferno featuring their last lead singer. And John said they were never able to really properly perform it live because of the effects and the things that are involved in the song. So they did a re-recording of it so that they could have those effects they could actually trigger live. And so their singer was singing for them at the time, so they replaced Matthew Barlow's vocals, and they had their last lead singer singing. So, a really cool thing. You had to buy it on tour, and it's got 2 versions of Dante's Inferno. It's got the finished version that everybody knows, the 2011 version, but then it has the raw version, which is something they did on the box set, the Century Media box set, where Burnt Offerings is a 2-disc version. It's the disc 1 is the remix, remastered, but then the second one is raw versions of the songs. And if you're an audiophile and you're really into that kind of stuff, you'll dig it. But the last thing I want to show you, I really like this. It's very, very cool. Is here we go. Iced Earth Incorruptible, their last studio album. This is a beautiful art book. The album is broken up there are 2 vinyls, side A, side B, and it's translucent red. It is the album broken up on 4 sides, 2 side C. Ooh. It's side D. Very, very cool. Side D is only Clear the Way, you know, because it's such an epic song. And that is it for the merchandise I'm going to show off. I don't know what. I love Iced Earth to this day. I did a critique of his first interview out. I know some people may have come off that I was kind of a negative type thing, but I have a lot of empathy for what John went through, and I really hope we see some I really hope we see some stuff from him as an artist in the near future. And, you know, I wish him a happy birthday, a long life. Thank you to Rose and Podcast of the Wicked and everybody who's involved in that for keeping the Iced Earth legacy alive and for bringing on those guys like, you know, John Greeley and John Schaefer shows up to in, and Gene Adams, and just everybody who's involved. Just Iced Earth, such a fantastic band, derailed because John honestly stood up for what he believed, and in my eyes and in the eyes of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people, not only did he not do anything wrong, but living in the year 2026, we know how those guys were railroaded. So anyway, hey, happy birthday, John. God bless Podcast of the Wicked. Take care and stay metal.